back up here on the stage at the Heartland Cafe where Mezcla played the other night, and now it's just me and my buddy Don Rose. Good morning, Don.
Good morning.
We go way back. I think I first remember you when you were interviewing us for a story in probably the Daily News on Rising Up Angry. Yep. Then you were involved with the Democratic Convention big time, and you've been involved with a lot of politicians, Harold Washington, Jane Byrne, probably Obama. How you been, Don?
Tired.
That's because we get you up early to come here.
Right.
I know you're up reading and looking at the news every night, but here you are early in the morning drinking your decaf.
Yep. Well, you got to keep up, and you got to keep thinking, and you got to keep planning.
Well, we're here to talk some politics, and we're going to go, as usual, local to global. Let's start kind of with the global. How's the U.S. doing in the world, and how's our President Obama doing in the world?
Well, I wish I had a better report on that. The U.S. is not doing particularly well in the world. We're engaged in those wars, which are becoming wars of attrition. We still haven't been able to get out of Iraq. Iraq is still a poisonous place, so you read about bombings every day, and I don't know if we're going to meet that deadline for pulling out. Afghanistan, as promised by those of us who said don't go in, is turning into another quagmire. Even Karzai, our wonderful ally there, said we can't beat the Taliban. And we knew we couldn't beat the Taliban because they're there, and all we can do is maintain a permanent war there. We could have a permanent war until somebody says, just cut it off. They made a great mistake by going in, and I don't think they can meet that one-year deadline to get out.
Why do you think Obama did this? I mean, is that something he would wanted to do? Is there some kind of pressures in the presidency beyond what we know? You know, he never said he was anti-war. He said he was anti-particular wars. We took him at his word. Obviously, we support him, but many of us who have supported him are pretty critical of certainly these two wars.
Well, there were two things at play. The largest one, of course, is a sop to the military and a sop to the Republicans, because there was a strong feeling that if he did not go into Afghanistan, he would have drawn as a presidential opponent none other than David Petraeus, who is a stronger candidate than any of the clowns they might have been able to put up against Obama. That's item one. He also made a terrible miscalculation when he initially supported the war in Afghanistan and said that was the good war because we were going in to retaliate and to get al-Qaeda out of there because of 9/11. It made sense. By the time he came into office, that did not apply, but he was still making that same promise. Afghanistan is the good war, and it had long turned into the sour war.
Let's jump around the globe a little bit. Let's talk about the Gaza Strip. Let's talk about Turkey and Israel and the Israeli commandos jumping all over those ships that were bound for Gaza with medical aid, etc. Where is the U.S. at? How's this one playing out for Obama? He's in a tough spot.
Well, obviously, he is never going to break with Israel. He is not going to call for an international investigation. The Jewish lobby, and I speak as a Jew, the Jewish lobby is just much too strong here and much too wealthy. He cannot afford to lose the entire Jewish community in the United States. And so there will always be temporizing. We know that this was a travesty. Israel knows it was a travesty, and internally in Israel there is better criticism of what went on than there is in the United States. And so
the retired generals came out opposing it.
Right. So once again we're stymied, and in the process, Turkey is broken more and more with the United States. Turkey was an ally of both Israel and the United States. It was the only significant Muslim nation that was working with Israel. And the fact that Turkey would break with the U.S. is a sign of the declining power and respect of the United States all over the world. They're calling in their chips, and they're spreading them around. And that is the greatest reflection on the disrespect of the United States worldwide. Even though Obama is loved personally, even in Europe, they feel that he has not made enough overtures to Europe itself. He's made overtures to the Muslim world and to what we used to call the Third World. And Europe is, I've returned recently, Europe is saying, what about us? We are your friends. And
well, we kind of all have known that there would be sort of a decline in the U.S.'s role in the world, while Obama talks about, you know, making us continuing to be a great nation. I mean, we certainly think of ourselves as great in many ways, and those of us on the progressive side think of ourselves not so great in many ways. But you know, with the emergence of China, with the emergence of India and many other countries, it just, you know, it's just a matter of time till the U.S. will have to share some of its global power. And so is this a good thing or a bad thing right now?
Well, it's probably in the long run a good thing, because we have to readjust to the new century and to our new place in the world as a declining economy against growing economies elsewhere in the world. The sad part is that this is taking place during the Obama period, and the Americans who are not used to the idea of not being dominant are going to blame Obama for, in effect, for doing the right thing.
Right, and that's a general issue that we have to look at, that, you know, while Obama could blame Bush for a while, people don't remember very long, and it's going to shift to where he takes the blame.
Well, he's taking the blame already. He's certainly taking the blame now for the economy, even though it is Bush's economy. All of the tragedies that occurred happened prior to the day Obama was sworn into office. Ironically, now this is a piece of stupidity, Sarah Palin started yelling about the TARP, the first big bank bailout, blaming Obama for the bank bailout, which is very unpopular. But that took place during the last days of the Bush administration. It may have been the best thing that the Bush administration ever did, but it's unpopular, and she's trying to throw the blame on Obama.